Welcome to
Oh,
Toke Tarot Tuesdays with my friends. We've got Sandra here.
Hello.
We've got Courtney.
hello.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. We have we have decided we do have a topic for today, but again, we can digress into other spaces. But
A loose one.
I was thinking we could talk about our friend Mr. Cannabis for today's discussion and maybe discussing how you guys implement it in your life in a
Mm-hmm.
healthy way. And yeah, thank you for being here. We're excited to, yeah, just see where this takes us. As
Here
always,
we are.
Here we are.
so we were just discussing our maybe doing a little show and tell kind of what we have going on in our space and
Mm.
yeah, what you want to share. So, Sam, do you want to go first? Share what you.
Courtney's got something. She's showing it's
Oh,
shiny and bright. I've been distracted by a shiny object. What
Yeah.
was that?
Or
this is
Courtney,
a
do you want to go
grinder.
first?
I'll show off my grinder real quick. It's
Oh, she's a beauty.
holographic.
Of
Uh,
course, that would be your grinder.
little chrome action. So you got the
Mm-hmm.
blue, the purple. It's got a little spot here, and then you got one here,
Oh, wow.
and then you got your other one,
Keefy trap.
your little keef trap for all your keef. Yum.
Yum, yum.
Nice.
So
Yeah, good grinder
Mm.
is very important.
Yes.
I have used some crappy ones in my past. Now, you learn to appreciate a nice good one. So,
yeah, especially the ones that catch the keef. It's the best part.
Well, I use a coffee grinder, and then so it collects in the lid, and stuff like that. But I want to do my show and tell item. So, being a cannabis user, basically microdose, use it for pain relief and for energy. And I will want to get into the conversation later about how it works for mobility. However, it also works for being able to sort of take a mental break from your pain or to be able to help you relax and get really into things. I've been able to really get into a jigsaw puzzle. And what I want to show you is a really, really amazing adult coloring book that I found just 1 hour before this call started. I was out, I had to go and pick something up, and I stopped into one of my favorite thrift stores and I got this coloring book.
turn of the century. Oh my gosh.
Turn of the century posters. And so it is, each one is like old advertisements.
Oh my God, it's like Art Nouveau. That's one
Yeah.
of my favorite.
Yeah. And it has an inlay on both sides that shows the color.
I need this book in my
Oh,
life.
beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I am.
The originals? Wow.
So I was thrilled, right? And I saw that and I thought, oh, what a great Zen project. So there's 38 designs. This was published in 1978.
What?
And there's 38 posters, and it has the years of all of them that are contained in this book. And one's from 1859, 1896, 80, so it's all
Whoa.
through the 18, and it's just like so dreamy, dreamy,
Yeah,
and it's in very good condition.
Hmm.
I gotta say, yeah.
That's just printed.
I already took the price sticker off. Oh, and I've played with it and rolled it around. $1.
Wow.
Boom, baby. I love
For
it.
Right. And so being able to get yourself involved in some sort of a creative project, like whether it's quite structured like coloring or freeform doodle or drawing, and this is actually scientifically proven, when we can do something, when we engage both our brains and our hands in some sort of an activity. It works on the neurotransmitters, and it's very good to maintain cognitive function as Larissa picks up her knitting, right? And that's something that's valuable for every single age. And if you can find something that you can carry on into your senior years, that's also supposed to be very important for our cognitive function for stages like with dementia. So coloring.
Oh, I love to see it. That is a great book. And my first tarot deck actually is of that style, the Art Nouveau. It's
I've
like
recognized that. Yeah.
what
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
I definitely had a past life, I think, in that time period. Well, one of my favorites. Yeah, I went to, was it Barcelona? They have all like these buildings that are all decked out in that beautiful style.
Mm-hmm.
Stunning.
Great find. Good job. I there's nothing like a nice thrift shop score. I just
Yeah.
I also got a pair of looks like hardly been worn Karl Lagerfeld jeans for it was the sticker price was pretty high. It was $6, but it was 50% off, so $3.
Oh.
Just like, yeah, anyone, if anyone is into thrifting, I could host guided thrifting safaris here on the island, because I know all the.
I'm booking a ticket.
And then, okay, that's day one. And then day two, we're off to Tofino to Crystal Beach to get those crystals in the seaweed. Okay.
Done.
What a great.
Oh, girls, we're going to have such a good time.
I cannot wait. You can point out all the sea glass to us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. That's a great business idea. You should do Airbnb experiences.
You're good at that. It's like a combo right there.
Something like that. Yeah, so my little show and tell thing, I just got this book in that I've been wanting to read. It's the I Ching
Oh,
of Answers.
oh,
Nice.
Are you gonna get I Ching as well?
I don't know.
The little tools.
Yeah. Oh, the divination sticks. Yeah,
the sticks.
came with.
It came with it.
They came with it. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I'll go get them.
Please. That is so exciting.
I'll be right back.
Oh, so cool.
That is really exciting.
So, Courtney, what type of pens do you use for your doodling and your art? I don't have anything. I need to get some. Stedler. Easy. Oh, yeah. So like at Staples.
5 point. Yeah, 5 point. Super easy. I know Helen loves the Moon gel pens. What they called that? And they're really, really nice. They have like a bunch of different shades that you can get, and like some of them are like shimmery,
iridescent and shimmery. Yeah. That's like the one she did a card for me. Okay, so what is this? Introduce this to me, you guys. I have no idea what this is.
Yarrow. Yarrow sticks that were handpicked by these farmers in China. So, and they come with the book.
So the way that they land is how you read your fortune, basically, right?
Yeah.
So you just like go like that, and then however it's displayed.
So like pick up sticks, but you read them instead of picking them up.
Yeah, read up sticks.
Read up sticks, yeah, but there's like more to it, and there's like so interesting. It has something to do with like numbers too that I'm reading, but I literally just got it in. I don't know much about it, but I feel again when I keep hearing words repeated, when I'm watching other like YouTubers talk, I feel like I keep hearing the word I Ching.
That's it. That's your sign. Yeah.
So I had a little extra credit and I was like, I'm gonna use it to buy this. So
yeah, that's so dope.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Maybe I'll do a video on it.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. So my next thing to feed my brain with. So that is my show and tell for today. Yeah. So, what are y'all smoking today?
Ooh. I am smoking Platinum Gold so far. It's a sativa and indica hybrid. I think it's only AAA, so it's not the best, but gets the job done.
Now,
And I also mix it with organic tobacco,
ooh,
just a
nice.
touch, not too much. But I like it because tobacco helps synapses in the brain as well fire off, which with the MS, it's very helpful.
Nice.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that seems like a nice blend.
It is really nice. It's very uplifting, but also good for pain.
Mhm. Mhm.
No, thank you. What
Thank
do you
you.
got going, Sam?
Got right now. I've got something called Platinum Citrique. It's a little
Oh,
picture right there, little nug. And earlier, and the other thing I've got going on is something called Island Pink, and it's a pink Kush. I tend to like ones that are sativa
dominant.
dominant,
Mhm.
as and so for energy and pain and uplifting. Yeah. How about you? What do you got going on, Larissa?
So I got me some homegrown White Widow.
Mm.
Oh,
White Rabbit for a second. White Widow.
I
Yeah.
think White Widow and White Rhino are two of my favorite blends or smokes. They're so good.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah. I like it 'cause it makes me more like awake. Like I don't feel on it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuzzy.
A little tiny guy.
Fuzzy nugget.
Yeah, I could
Nice.
see it. So nice.
You get yours from the dispensaries or do you get like what oh wait, are there dispensaries where you're at?
Oh,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of
Heaps.
availability on.
Yeah.
We're in Canada,
Yeah.
Yes.
so
It's
yeah.
legal here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's legal where I am too, so I don't feel bad about talking about this stuff.
No, no,
As
exactly.
far all I'll say is I support local.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
very
my, hmm absolutely. Support local.
Mm-hmm. I know where my supply comes from, and I know the process. It's really important for me. I don't cannabis use for me is not back when way back in the day. I more of a social use. I don't use cannabis in social situations. I use it as part of my medicine, and I'm discerning. Just like I think, like the eggs I buy, the oils I use, and the cannabis that I consume. So I like knowing the process.
Yeah. That they flush it, that they're using products that aren't just harsh and chemically, like if you get stuff that hasn't been taken care of properly,
Mm,
it's gonna give you headaches. It might like really dull you out. You might come off of it really harshly, so kind of like a mushy brain, a little bit slower.
Mhm.
Uh, just it doesn't make you feel as good after. So find
and also
smoke.
with the world, I don't have a lot of faith and trust in um, a lot of products in manufacturing and what's in, and when things are not at all saying that there's wrong with profit or money, but often when businesses are profit driven, it just so it's
Mhm.
as with anything, it's important to, if you care about stuff like this, it's important to do your research, know what you're consuming. Hmm.
Most
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I feel like when I smoke the stuff that's been grown locally compared to some of the stuff I've gotten in the dispensary, there's this like I don't know, it has a different vibe to it. I don't know if you notice that, but um not hating on like the dispensary world because
Hmm.
I think it is doing some good. At least I know in my area they're popping up like weeds here.
Literally.
Like weed.
Weeds. But I just find it like I don't know. I just was
Hmm.
I was talking to someone who had worked at a dispensary in California, and they were like, it's actually not really good that this is happening because it is affecting like the local growers,
Mm.
but
Yeah, they're trying to push them out.
much about it. But
I'd like to see, changes made in the industry for sure. But one thing that I have observed with the dispensaries and everything becoming legalized here is that it has allowed more people like me and other people with chronic conditions and going into the senior population to
Yeah,
have access to medicine,
yeah.
to have access so they don't have to go a pharmaceutical route. You can use cannabis for a really long list of things that it can help support.
Mhm.
So before, when it wasn't, a lot of these people would never have had the connections to get some product before. But now when the dispensaries open up, they now can go in and have access and start to experience sometimes like physical relief that has been
yeah,
unattainable. Some people,
Yeah,
it does not always just about choice and preference. Some people don't have an ability to tolerate tablet medications and things like that. Like their systems just don't respond well. So I think that was a great introduction for access. And then, as tends to happen, it's pretty hard to take things away from people once we discover and we know and have that. So I hope that it will continue to be able to be used as medicine.
yeah, absolutely. Before it was legalized in Canada, I had a medical card for the MS, and I
um,
uh, worked with a few people at the I guess it's like a doctor's office, and you go there, and they would explain to you all the different types of dispensaries that offer medical, and kind of give you a rundown on like what sativa is, what indica is, which one can like help with each thing. And I just found it like so incredible. Most of the people there were way older than I was that were, getting the prescriptions as well,
Hmm.
and just the endless amount of questions that they had. They'd give you like 2 hours with the one person to talk through and ask as many questions as you need. you know Understanding what I was smoking, I was pretty good, but a lot of people definitely took that extra time to get their heads around kind of what this is, because
Hmm.
before, they're told that it's a drug and it's bad and it's going to lead to other drugs, and don't do that.
yeah,
So I think for them to be taught by like medical professionals that this actually does help. The cannabis is in your body already. Like, we already have cannabinoids, and it's easy for our body to process it. Like, I don't
Hmm.
think people know this, but before hemp was made illegal to grow, that's what farmers would grow most for their animals, because it was such an easy crop, and it would flourish and stay fantastic. And they would feed it to the animals, so then when you would eat the animals, you would get the CBD, basically, because they would eat it and it would go into their muscles, and they would be full and pumped full of this like CBD, perfect combination for our bodies. And
Hmm.
then they took that away.
yeah, because they knew it was good for us. So yeah,
Exactly.
it's it just it's wild to me that something that yeah grow like it just comes from Mother Nature and
Yeah.
doesn't like I think someone would say that like if you do the comparison of like domestic abuse like cases, it's always around alcohol. It's a alcohol related. You
Oh yeah.
don't really hear like couples fighting when they're stoned because they're
Oh man,
too chill.
maybe over a bag of chips. Like,
Right, exactly. You'd be fighting over like munchies. uh, but other than that, like um, I just feel like it's just wild to me that it was deemed so evil.
Well,
So,
where's the profit in it?
Yeah.
mm,
If
Yeah.
it's not manufactured, the profit, and you can't create it all that it's not the route.
Mhm. Nope. Um, but it's amazing to see what it's done for people. Even like, I know in my family, my dad was recently actually told by his doctor to, instead of winding down at night with like a cordial, the doctor was like, "Have you tried cannabis?"
Mm,
Which is it's interesting that like now like my dad is seeing this in person with the doctor, and they're the type
mhm,
that really do go gung ho for the Western medicine. So it was interesting, and then unfortunately there was a this is actually kind of a funny story. my when my dad finally opened up the thought about doing it, my brother had given him a piece of chocolate, which
so edibles was the first experience.
yeah,
Oh
and
no.
he gave him a square that was 25 milligrams.
25 milligrams for his first time.
Yes. I was like, Ben, I was like, what are you doing? You're trying to kill dad? It's like,
You don't want him to have a good time? Is that what it is?
for 3 days he was like, I didn't know what happened.
3 days.
Like I lost it. Yeah.
Yeah, so be careful with your weed consumption also because eating it is much different than smoking it.
Mhm,
And you can
mhm.
never eat less, okay? Once you eat it, you can't go back. And don't double dip. Don't do it. If
Had
you
some crazy edible stories, but nothing like, yeah. Now I think of it, I don't think I've ever had a really bad experience just from
Mm-mm.
smoking. So
No, never. But mhm.
yeah, I've had my moments. So
I actually couldn't smoke weed for like 4 or 5 years. Um, I smoked weed when I was like a kid. And so when I got to 18, it started really messing with my mind. And it would give me like weird visuals and out of body experiences. And it just started really hitting different. So I had to take a 4 or 5 year break. And then I got right back on it. And it was like nothing ever changed.
Mm.
Everything was perfect again.
everything in moderation.
True. Mhm. Even moderation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moderation.
That's what I tell myself.
But yeah, um, I do appreciate those little hiatuses too, because yeah, once I'm like needing to smoke more to like feel a different way, I'm like, okay,
Yes.
Mm.
I think that's my sign to take a break for a little while.
Yeah,
But
it's not a crutch, it is a tool.
a tool, yes, another tool.
It's
Mhm.
just like everything, like we've been talking about in a previous conversation, taking a break from cards,
Right.
taking a break, switching it up in our diets, or
Yes.
how we're dressing, or what we're doing with our, like, it's just like that. I think being cyclical and open to having that sort of allowing that pause for lots of different things. I think that's really healthy.
Mhm.
It allows you to pay attention to what's really going on too. And it's just like, because if you're, yeah, having the awareness.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you a kind of a chance to it puts everything in perspective again, I think. When you take a break, you're like,
Mm,
right, this is why I use it. This is why I, you know, utilize it. This is why this is a part of my, process. It's like almost like everything being really good for a long time and then you becoming numb to that because it doesn't feel good anymore. It just feels regular. So
mm.
bad things kind of have to happen so that you can be back in that really good place again. It's a
And
cycle.
isn't CBD like a nice alternative to just like regular hemp? Because if you have that fixation to like, like the act of smoking,
Mhm.
Right.
at least with CBD, you don't get the
Hi.
high, right?
Yeah.
It's just yeah. So I feel like there are ways to like do be in this world recreationally without having to feel like you don't have control over your mind.
Hmm.
That's it.
Oh yeah, and I mean, if you do go the dispensary route, then you can get like capsules and
Right.
tinctures and things like that. That definitely you can see whether it's you can get 100% CBD or a 2-to-1 ratio or something like that. You can, and again, like you were saying, Courtney, that you have the conversation with the people that know about this stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, well, so what is it? Oh, you're looking for pain relief, or you're looking for you've
Sleep.
got anxiousness, or you need to sleep, and and then also, are you experienced with cannabis? Are you already someone that's familiar, or is this your are you brand new to this type of medicine? And starting slow and at the lower end, unlike Larissa's dad, um, is the better way to go, right? And you can get things where you don't have to get that psychoactive high feeling, and you can still get the medicinal healing properties of the CBD and the cannabinoids. Because
Yeah.
you're right, they are in our body. We have those receptors, and that's why it works. Why it works so well.
If
I
you're
do
tapped.
have the dispensaries near me carry their tablets,
Hmm.
Ooh.
um, and it's like 2.5 THC, 2.5 CBD,
Hmm.
and a little bit of caffeine, and it
Oh, lovely.
replaced my Adderall prescription because I felt like a zombie.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to find something that could replace it without having to drink coffee because
True.
coffee sometimes makes my stomach like all
Your
gross.
gut health is so important.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I, I know that from I feel like stuff that I deal with my face. So it's just like
Mhm.
True.
I've been working on trying to like get this system working at 100%.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it was cool. I just recently discovered these and I am liking them so far. I might actually now really use this as a way to, not have to smoke all the time,
Yes.
be able to, and not have to resort back to Adderall because that stuff is like straight poison. So,
Well, yeah, and I mean, look at all the side effects and the warnings and the counterindications, and do not be cautious with this and watch for that. And
yeah.
yeah, I
So
love
that's
that.
an option for people too if you're, not liking the smoke part of it. But if you don't want to feel like out of control, like I can go to work
On
on
a 2.5.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
there's
very small amount.
with the CBD it counteracts the THC,
Yeah.
kind of like you know you're feeling good and they're plant based. I'll have to get
Oh,
the
lovely. Yeah. Yeah, because CBD helps with the THC highs. That's why if like you get bad anxiety from the THC, or you get really sleepy, or any of the like more uh, downside, I guess, of weed smokage, more relaxed part, you get like the CBD mixed in there, and it almost cancels out all the
Mm.
heavy stuff. Yeah.
so it's a company called 1906, and this is their Genius um, tablets. And
Okay.
Hmm.
yeah, it's it's fast acting, so it kicks in within 20 minutes.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, they're great.
Oh.
I'm so excited I discovered these because I just have been really cautious of what I've been putting in my body.
Hmm.
Totally.
Yeah, reaction to something, and just it's good to gently introduce things, when you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Hmm. Yeah, if you start slow, then you'll better gauge how much is good for you. Because, yeah, you can't take less.
Yeah, I remember this another funny story in college. a friend of mine had this massive bong. This kid was from California, and we were all like, we loved him because he, you know, California was, I think, the only state at the time that was legal, so he had access to all the good stuff. And we were like, dude, your bong is awesome. Like, we were so excited to hit it. And I'm coming from like, I'm not even joking. I think I was mostly like smoking out of like apple bongs in high school and like,
Pop
like,
cans.
yeah, just like nothing special. But this was like, it looked like a spaceship. And I want to be like all the cool kids and I want to try it. Well, tried it.
A bong rip.
And oh my God, I thought I was going to die because it felt like
Yeah.
closed up and I was like, and I forgot how to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
choking and
Mm-hmm.
I was freaking out that I had to leave. I ran out of the room and I ran into my dorm room in complete darkness. I grabbed my computer and I'm Googling. I'm like, how to get unhigh.
Oh
I was so gone and I was freaking out and it's never fun when you start panicking.
no.
It
No.
turns into this like, yeah. So yeah, that was a real special moment and the main thing they tell you is just eat. So I was like, perfect. I woke up the next morning, there was like munchies wrappers like all over. Just
You got
it
like chocolate in your hair.
was real stunner moment for me, but
We've all been there.
yep.
Yep.
I love it.
If I can suggest to anybody, vitamin C, if you're ever feeling a bit too high,
Mm.
Yeah.
eat an orange or a grapefruit or a bunch of them. Lots of water and food and sleep.
Yeah.
And you're fine. Like 45 minutes later, you'll pretty much be fine.
A nice pep talk in the mirror is always good.
Oh yeah.
I'm always like, like you are not this high. You are
You are sober.
sober. You will get through this. Yeah. It's like the only time I ever talk to myself in the mirror.
Oh,
Excuse me. But yeah, I do love this medicine. I think that it's one of the best I've tried.
Yeah,
herbal
there's something
teas.
with the way that it works. This was explained to me once properly by a medical professional, but I can't really remember it. But the way that cannabis can work for helping for mobility issues. So with having severe arthritis, um, walking and moving around and that is sometimes a challenge. And I had discovered, and I would find that if I would have a couple of puffs before I would go for a walk or something, you get to the park and you want to go for a stroll or go on. It, it's instantaneous how it works for pain relief and also for the mobility, way better and different than you could ever get from a Tylenol or go up the ladder to any sort of ibuprofen or anything that you would take. And it's because of the way that it works in our brain. Our brain, and again, this is the part that I don't remember. No, it's not because I smoke weed. The way the brain, it can only focus on certain things at a certain time. But whatever it works, I can't explain it, and I apologize for that, but I can attest to that as being able to, just like night and day. I mean, it's just incredible, the way that it gives that relief and that ability to do things and to move around within reason. I mean, it doesn't, but it
Doesn't
gives you
solve
these little
everything.
moments that you can go and you can do this stuff. And I mean, that's at least my experience. What
Helps
about
with
you, Courtney?
migraines. Yeah, helps with
Mm.
migraines, I find. I get if those come in really, really intense, that's like, okay, I gotta close my eyes and roll the joint by memory and inhale. And usually that helps to calm that down. Also with like spastic muscles, helps to
Mhm.
calm the brain from firing so much. It kind of just like slows that down. It's also helped with my ADHD for that reason. if I am feeling absolutely scattered, which is crazy because some people say that weed makes them scatterbrained. But when I smoke weed, it actually puts things into place so that it's not jumping around everywhere. I can
Mhm.
kind of streamline my thoughts a little bit better. It's really good for being creative as well, I feel like. But
Oh yeah.
we already discussed that.
And channeling too.
Hmm.
Because I do live in a more kind of stressful environment because I am in a city setting. Like I'm just running a business. It's
And
like,
you're running a business.
yeah, it's sometimes hard for me. And I'm trying to wean myself off of needing to smoke to channel sometimes, but I need something that will kind of put me into that state a lot quicker because
Hmm.
sitting and meditating, like sitting with music, sometimes it takes me a while.
It helps because it allows you to get to that deeper relaxation quicker, where you can turn off the chatter and the noise, and just because it also helps you, whatever you're doing, it really helps you to focus in. And also working with that, yeah, no, I've found that to be true as well. And also have heard other people talk about how it's an effective way of getting there a lot faster.
Yeah, don't Native Americans also use that in their smoke rituals? They have it burning as well. I know in church they used to use that in like burning. They would like walk down the aisles and they'd have like weed, sage, other
Like,
spices and stuff. And they would like waft it to people. So, yeah, it used to be a very like ritual thing that
Hmm.
spirits,
just reminded me
spiritual.
of something. I'm gonna show you.
Ooh. Also, I just had crazy deja vu.
Really?
Yeah, we've been here before, you guys. We've had this conversation already.
Oh, where is my book? Oh man. Oh, well, I don't know. It was basically I don't know where it went, but it's a discusses the I think four oils that were in the Bible, but
Oh.
because the Bible's been a little twisted, I think
Mm,
had a hard time like figuring out what the perfect oil blend would be.
Hmm.
This doctor in like Colorado or something. Not a doctor. Well, he's in the medical field, but he also became like a preacher.
oh.
Him and his wife started this church, and I ended up buying the book from him, and it explains. I think it's you mix hemp oil, um, myrrh, frankincense.
Hmm.
Yep.
I want to say like black pepper and olive oil.
That makes
No,
sense.
it's like this whole blend that it heals like everything.
Yeah,
um,
black pepper is very healing, and myrrh is cleansing,
yeah,
and frankincense just smells amazing.
but it was
So I don't know what I haven't vetted this myself, but 12 essential oils of the Bible:
yeah,
frankincense, myrrh, cinnamon, cedarwood, spikenard, hyssop, cassia, and sandalwood.
And sandalwood. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I have myrrh, cedarwood, sandalwood, frankincense. Frankincense is very, very in popular and used in spiritual practices,
yeah.
religious ceremony, native ceremony. Um, yeah.
In
That's
Lebanon, when we went to one of there's like a saint in a particular area that he's known for, and we went to his house. And as like a little gift, when you leave, they give you a little packet. It has his face on it, and they're little frankincense. It's like a resin.
Yes, they are
oh,
called. Yeah, but they're basically like crystals, little nubbins of crystal.
Yeah.
Because the frankincense is so the frankincense trees are really amazing and wild, and it's so they're so they're so interesting. They can literally grow off the side of a rock, and they are then the way the frankincense is derived is that the trees are slashed along the sides, and the sap oozes
Oh.
out from the tree, and that is then harvested and broken off, and it is then sorted. And the story of frankincense is actually really beautiful. And the way that's one of the things that I love about the doTERRA oils is because it is done ethically for the all of the trees. They don't just brutally go, and I mean, because slashing of the tree, if not done in a humane and respectful tree, can harm the tree and kill the tree. And it can only be done so often in order for the trees, in order for them to thrive. And so there's a stewardship and a responsibility that goes along with these trees, knowing how to be able to do this process so that it will be renewing. And so the frankincense trees give off these, and the name escapes me of what they're called, and they're different size ones. And there's these women then in the huts that sit there with these baskets, and often their children are with them, and they're sorting
Oh,
the frankincense. And it's, yeah, very, very ancient and very, very powerful.
Wow.
beautiful.
I like can feel the healing powers just like talking about it. If that sounds really weird, but I just
No.
Vibration.
yeah,
Hmm.
which reminds me I have to get more oil. I need to re-up. Just ran out. But it's good for skincare too. Like if you mix it with is it jojoba?
Ah, jojoba. Mm.
Jojoba.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah, because I deal with like cystic acne and
Oh, right.
things like that.
Yeah, same. Yeah, frankincense is a really great skin oil and for
Can you mix it with
meditating.
Tea tree?
Melaleuca?
Oh.
Can you mix it with like
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I do that actually for um I make some times of face serum with the with frankincense and
Oh.
tea tree and geranium. Or now I've switched up because I've learned that copaiba is so that also, so copaiba, much like CBD, very timely, has cannabinoids in it that exactly the same as CBD. And our skin it's like the largest organ in our body, and it's been recently discovered that our skin has its own cannabinoid system. And so copaiba is really, really effective at working with this body system, and that's been really effective with me for my rosacea and cystic
Interesting.
acne.
really good to know. Because I think I have two bottles and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through these, but I will
Now you
get
do.
back to my little regimen.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
love chatting with you all. You're all always giving me great advice. So thank you.
Good ideas.
Cool beans. Yeah, this stuff is amazing and it should be grown everywhere.
And topically too, you can use it in ointments and stuff like that. My mom has been able to find some relief. She gets compression fractures, and can be very painful. And she's very sensitive to tablet medication and painkillers, and that it just does not. Doesn't work well for her. So using oh, and that's actually, we were talking about frankincense. The frankincense roller down her spine is sometimes the only thing that will give her pain relief.
Wow.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's just like between things like that and with cannabis use and having an alternative to so many different either. And here's the thing, this is something that keeps coming up. A lot of these, what I love about having access to these natural things at our fingertips to be able to use instead of going for medication, is because what often happens if we don't have access to these tools, a lot of people are not running to the doctor or the pharmacy. They're just toughing it out and suffering. They're just putting up with whatever they're feeling or they're experiencing or they're suffering through because they either don't have access to the medical side as well, or they don't want side effects or whatever. So a lot of people are out there suffering needlessly where they could be getting. And I always relate being able to solve a situation like or get support with, because it's not always solving, get support with like sleep or pain or things like that. When you can truly be supported in that way, it's
Yes.
improving the quality of your life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's especially like, right, Courtney, if you live with a chronic condition, this is our life. And getting things that can bring in more of a quality to that life is, that's why everything, that's why I'm so all about this natural stuff and the spiritual stuff, the energy work,
Yes.
and it all goes so well together,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, asymptomatic. All of it just works with each other so well. But you need to utilize everything. You need every single tool in your pocket.
Yeah.
Uh, Nothing's a one fixed deal. So
Yeah,
you really gotta
no
put
magic
yourself there.
cure it all,
Exactly.
which I wish was the case. And that's
Well,
why
they're actually trying to make that. They've been working on a pill that helps to docile you.
Oh, great.
I
No,
uh,
thanks.
I'll be right back
yeah.
so I can find more information on this.
Um, I mean, I get excited when I hear about these like med bed talks and
Hmm.
all for it, but again, I feel like if I can try to do this natural way, great. But I don't know. I'm not waiting around for things to get really bad. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, I always think there's things that we can do to, go into put our have our bodies working better with us and things like that. And just not, there are different, sometimes it's changes in, lifestyle choices and doing the right, putting your time and efforts and resources to get good food and get quality stuff. It's not always the easiest thing. But these things over time, right? Every little bit we can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I've been really enjoying these talks with you guys because it's just sharpening more of my tools that I've got now. I'm adding to my belt.
Yeah. And it reminds us to, I just like getting the encouragement. Like you said, you get the ideas and you get reminded of stuff that, because a lot of this stuff is, it's out, it's back here somewhere, and we don't remember to access and use all this stuff that we have as resources, because we actually have
Oh,
so many resources throughout any given day, right?
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I and just kind of research it, like talking about the brain, and I don't know, you just learn that there's so much more that we can tap into. Like we only know this much of the potentials of what can go on up there. And I'll admit, I think cannabis has really helped me with that, like tap into that world and use my brain more.
Hmm.
It seems weird, but it really has helped me come back to myself and really utilize the tools that I have up there. Because there have been things that I've thought about that I was like, I would never have just thought this walking down the street, like, or reading a book. Like, I I've had some profound thoughts, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Hmm.
Accessing like my Akashic records, like, is that something maybe I'm tapping into?
I think a lot of that too, I mean, that could vary for sure be. And I think that like with with cannabis, it does it just helps to filter out a lot of that excess stuff that's like kind of the noise and the chatter, and allows us to focus into more in of our own thoughts, because we can really tune in to that and focus on it, and then we can really listen and pick up on more stuff. I find that.
Yeah, it's been a cool, um, I don't know, just a couple of years. I've just been paying attention to that more,
Mm.
really honing in on that.
So do you keep a notebook with you all the time for like when these ideas come, or do you have a good?
Try when I can. Uh, Yeah, I have gotten a lot better at journaling because I actually did take a journal making class. Was it 2 years ago now?
Hmm.
And that made me appreciate actually doing the journal. Like this is one of them that I made. Um,
Oh, nice.
but it's kind of hard to see, but yeah. And I learned how to do the binding and all this stuff. So I just get when I have moments, I'll just doodle away, and yeah, it's nice to have a couple of these around my house because I'm
Hmm.
sometimes not good at. I don't know if this happens to you, but if I'm in the perfect zone, sometimes I'll be like, I don't know, not feeling like I want to go to the other side of the room, like
Hmm.
the house, to go grab my journal, and I'll just, I don't know.
Oh, and we tell ourselves this is so good. There's no way I'm going to forget this.
Right. And then the next day
Yeah, I have on my kitchen island, I always have a notebook, or even just sometimes just like I have index cards all over the place.
I'm like,
Um and just to jot things down because I get the often when I'm cooking. It's just like, and again, it's because that's involved in that concentration. So your brain's not getting a lot of incoming. You're just, you're sort of in creative
mhm.
and stuff. And so, yeah, so I always gotta jot them down because, yeah, you want to retain them.
Exactly. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. So Forbes recently uh, put out an article saying that they are working. Bioethicist Parker Crutchfield is trying to make a mortality pill. Specifically, this pill will help with the widespread, or wait, he suggests that widespread administration of psychoactive drugs could provide moral enhancement that would make people more likely to adhere to social norms, such as wearing masks and getting the jab.
Hmm.
Yep. So they're
Just
trying
make them
to
more easily to comply and just not
docile.
care.
Yep. Yep. Comply
Wow.
pills.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, sorry.
No, keep going.
I don't know if anybody watches Search Party. You ever heard of that?
No.
No. It's a TV show. They just finished their final season, but they basically make a enlightenment pill. So a pill that causes enlightenment, but the only way to cause enlightenment is through ego death or or death. Because people talk about NDEs and they say a lot of the times that it activates spiritual awakening, or even if they don't remember their NDE, it leads to growth in their spirit that is immense, or can at least. And so they tried to make a pill that caused you to die and come back to life. I'm not going to ruin what happens in that, but
Interesting.
a lot of not good things. You can't force these things to happen. They have to happen naturally. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm convinced that DMT didn't work for me. Like the universe, every time I went to do it, there was like an issue, and I
Mm.
couldn't like lift off. I only like saw the entrance of like a tunnel, but then it was like, nope, you can't go any further.
Well,
Well, and I was like,
probably,
okay, so guess I am not meant to do this. You're
Mm.
yeah.
gonna take the long route for enlightenment.
First.
Isn't that interesting how we are protected sometimes if we're, and sometimes it's a thing to pay attention to course correct, and sometimes it's just that obstacles come up that don't. Yeah. Oh, I love it when that happens, and that's when I get the feeling, that we're just protected and guided, and but
I,
that's interesting.
I feel like I've had so many near death experiences. Like my guides are
Dodge this.
we should have put her in a bubble, and this would have made everything easier. I would have probably been fine just being a bubble girl. Oh, your cat.
Can you guys hear that? Oh my goodness. He's wild.
Saying, I see you are in a bubble. Don't you see the bubble, you guys? She's in a bubble.
Is everything okay?
That is literally his meow. That's just how he speaks to me.
Oh.
Jeez.
He's still going.
Adorable.
And he's so tiny too, so it's always surprising for me to hear such vocals coming out of him. Like he'll even stand in the bathroom to make it louder. Or he'll sit at like the top of the stairs. There's like a little over landing where like the sunroof hits. He'll just like sit there and he'll just howl. Yeah, he'll do that early in the morning. So I'll be like sleeping, and then all of a sudden I'll just hear like wails of like the second dimension. Just like,
Like, feed me, human.
anything. It could be pet me, feed me, acknowledge my existence. That's it. Sometimes he just wants me to chase him, so he'll just like cry at me until I like chase him around the house, and then he'll like roll over and he'll act all cute, and I'm just like, you're a lot.
Wow. Very.
Yeah. He's a very territorial cat as well, so he thinks that he owns everything. So if he sees like a bird outside, I have to make sure it knows that this is his home. Cats are funny.
My cat once brought home a half dead bird and decided
Half dead.
half dead. Yeah, it was poor thing. It was like, we'll let you stay on this earth plane a little longer, but we're gonna make you suffer. I'm like, oh my god, cats.
Yeah. They're like, look at how fun this is. I got you a toy. You could play with it still.
Yeah, and she decided it'd be funny to like go underneath the bed to the back corner, so I
Oh,
had to
yeah.
crawl under the bed and then try to grab the poor
The poor,
birdie.
oh, geez.
Oh, traumatic.
Yeah, but your cat was probably just like, is this fun?
I had a cat that was lived out in the country, and the cat used to get little garter snakes and toss them up in the air, and just play them and toss them up in the air. Yeah, just for kicks. Would never kill the snake. It's just like, whoa,
Like,
friend.
go for a ride. Here you go.
Yeah, seemed kind of, I don't know. My cat now, Misha, she almost every night, she'll come and ask me either verbally, or she'll go and she'll sit up in front of the TV because she wants me to put on her shows. There's two different shows that we watch where she loves Bird Sanctuary, and just like it's just her favorite. And then sometimes the kittens shows. But those are kind of, I feel sad because the kittens never look well, and they kind of look like they might be a little drugged.
I
But
need to
anyway,
send you
but the
a
Bird
video.
Sanctuary is actual wildlife in an Alberta park, and it's like the ducks and the things. And sometimes she's up on the screen with her paws and talking to them. So, but she asks for them now.
Yes.
Wants them.
Yeah, it's so funny. My cat, the one who was just crying, he does the same thing. For horses.
Oh.
He wants to see his horses. There's a particular YouTube channel that I follow, and it's this guy on his ranch in BC. And he trains horses, and then he sells horses. So he takes in horses that are like abused or malnutritioned or haven't been handled properly before, and he like resets them basically. Like he teaches them that people are okay and that they're loved, and they're just like they're giant puppies by the end of it. Like they're so freaking cute.
They're like dogs, I feel like.
They are just very smart, very, very intuitive. I'm gonna send you the link, Sam.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Misha will like horses. She likes the birds and she likes the kittens and also owls. I found an owl video for her. She likes that.
Just funny looking. Oh, it's 234.
134.
Oh, actually, in 10 minutes, it'll be 444. We'll see if I notice it. I feel like my angels have been quiet. Well, I haven't been seeing
Ah,
much, but
I'm gonna send you a meditation
oh,
that
cool.
calls forth a bunch of our angels.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Yeah,
it uses the violet flame.
Mm.
I feel well, actually, I'm not surprised, but right when I started this um, call, my ear went like berserk, and I haven't had that happen in a while. So that was interesting. But
Mm.
um,
Little tune up.
yeah, a little tune up. I just feel like things are so quiet right now. I don't have that nudge to be like, you need to know this information right now. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, I'll just sit back, I'll chill. My cards are all over the place because I keep like wanting to play with them, and a couple things come out, but I'm just
Mhm.
like, no, I don't. I guess I just have to sit here and be patient and
Yes.
hope for the best.
Sometimes that's all it takes is just a little bit of stepping away, and then they're like they ring your doorbell right away. They're just like, hey, where'd you go? You stepped away for a second.
Yeah,
Like, oh, okay.
clumsy, stupid things. Don't do that.
Oh man, I got this crazy bruise on my thigh.
Oh no.
I walked right into the kitchen corner,
Mm.
like the little ledge thing, and it was like my full body weight. So it took like a big chunk out of my thigh. It was just a
Mm.
big bruise.
Oh, I felt it. We were talking about it.
Oh, it was it winded me.
Mm.
Oh, I've gotten to the point where I've stubbed my toe so many times. I have this process now where like I have this like breathing moment, and
Mhm.
that somewhat takes away the pain, but I'm always just like, "Oh, you stupid." Like, what are you doing?
But also, why does it hurt so much? Why are my feet in
Mm.
so much pain? Like, even if I were to drop like a lighter and it landed on like my toe, I would be like over and like keeled over. Like,
Sensitive toes.
why are my toes so ouchy?
No, there's not much, you know, not much covering them. So,
Mm.
A lot protecting them.
oh, we can talk about this later, but never mind. Um, toes. Um, anyways, yeah, clumsiness.
It's a real thing.
Mhm.
I also find that weed helps me stay a little bit more present too, so I'm not just,
Literally just about to say that.
ah, hmm, that's nice.
Word right out of my mouth. Yeah, no, it makes me like I've actually have had some weird athletic things happen when
Like something falls and you're like,
I like
just catch it.
Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had some crazy things happen in college, and I was surrounded by like all these fraternity brothers, and they were playing this game where like I don't know, it's really stupid. It was a stupid drinking game, but they would use a bat to hit like a can of beer. And anyways, long story short, I was walking through the field as they were playing, and this kid hits the beer can, and out of nowhere, out of like left field, I was just like, boom, on it. Like I wasn't even paying attention. Like I was just kind of like saw something fall the all the what just happened. Like they were just like, how did you manage to do that? I'm like, I don't know.
I could
Saw it
just see
coming.
the reaction. Yeah. Everybody just like drops their stuff and they're like, oh, what?
Yeah, I wasn't even trying. That's what was the
No.
part. I like, yeah, it felt like a superhero moment. Felt kind of good.
You're like, I'm tapping into my powers.
My powers, yeah. But when I'm not like that, though, oh my god, I will be just bumping into things constantly, just
Oh,
falling.
I'm very
Oh, yeah.
clumsy.
Mm-hmm. Like a magnet for things.
I don't
You're like, I
understand
wasn't even going in this direction.
what is this world that we're living in. Like I feel like we definitely were living in another planet that we could like,
Go through things.
yeah, yeah. This planet's way too heavy for me.
This like density,
Who
like
put
all these
that there?
atoms, right?
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not meant for this planet sometimes, but
Mm.
as much as I have my moments where I'm like, screw this shit, get me out of here, I'm also kind of like, I've had a lot of really great memories
Oh
here.
yeah.
So I can't,
Pets.
oh yeah, our
It's
animals.
just like every time that I'm feeling that, I'm just like, I look at my pets and I'm like, wow, this is a great place to be. Who am I kidding?
Mm.
Little furry animals everywhere. Are you kidding?
They do keep this experience,
Worth it.
except for last week, Kai decided to, and I told you this yesterday, but 2 days in a row, she decided it'd be fun to roll around in her own poo.
Mm.
So I had to do 2 baths. Mama was
Oh no.
like,
Mm.
it's like, why do I have a dog? Love them. We do.
Got it.
Hmm.
We do so much for them.
Yeah.
I treat my dog better sometimes than I do myself. I'm like, oh,
Yep. But then that also puts it into perspective for me too, is like sometimes I'm like, right, like I should at least treat myself half as good as I treat my animals.
reminder. Yeah.
It is.
What was it? I was listening to something, um, and it's like always, strive to be the person that your dog thinks you are.
You
But then I thought the other day, it's like, oh yeah, that's so beautiful. Like that, the way the dog is just, they're just so loving. So you like try to be that person, and then but switch it, be the person that your cat thinks you are.
Yep. Your
No,
cat.
my cat is so loving. Like she is just such a little love bug. So that's just, yeah. But mm,
She's not the stereotypical cat.
no.
Where
I
she's
have
like, oh, you.
my cat is not the one who's crying. The other cat. I have three cats. One of my other boys, he likes to like stand up on counters and knock things off while making
Mm.
eye contact with me.
The
Oh.
pat, and it's like, let's see how far I can go. Oh, and then
hmm Like heaven forbid I have any of my crystals out or like up here. He tries to jump up here all the time. There's literally nowhere for him to jump. Like there's no spot that he can
Hmm.
fit his big cat butt up, but he always tries. I wake up and like my flowers are on the ground, my plants are on the ground, like I've like broken a bunch of stuff up here, so I have to like make sure that it's like good hardy stuff that stays up there. We had to like put this here so that he was like more blocked. And like sometimes we put like a blockade here just to make it so that he can't jump into any other spaces. But even like my my TV here,
Hmm.
he tries to jump on top of that all the time from the ground.
he's a
He's a
little
big boy.
acrobat.
He thinks so. He thinks so. He thinks he is. He's like he's an Oriental and Maine Coon mix.
Nice.
So like very high energy, very crazy.
Mm.
They're like dogs kind of, but more feline.
Best of all worlds.
Animals are great.
Gotta love it.
Mhm.
How y'all doing?
I was just gonna say, I love how chill this chat is. This is very nice.
Well, isn't that how cannabis talk should be? If this was like way
An angry cannabis chat.
Ooh,
more
Bert, I'm angry.
an angry cannabis.
No, no way.
Yeah, it's so hard to be. Also, like, I'll admit, um, like, if I'm partaking in cannabis, if people around me are on like a different frequency, I can't handle the energy.
And
It's
like tune
Mm-mm.
into that.
yeah. not that I like am saying that like everyone needs to be smoking weed to hang out with me. That's not the case. Like I have actually all my friends don't smoke weed. But I just there's like a certain vibe. Like I probably wouldn't be able to go out to a club and be like smoking because I don't know. It
Mm.
There's a lot of different vibes.
it makes me too vulnerable to people's energies. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
very careful on where and when I do it too.
Yeah. Yeah, because that can also be utilized as like a strength, is like if you really want to like connect, then you guys just all share a spliff in a circle and y'all are just like all on the same wavelength and you're all able to kind
Team
of
members.
zone together.
Buddy
Yeah.
system. Yeah. No, I definitely like it when I have a good crew to vibe with.
I can't wait till we can all vibe together.
That's gonna be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait.
And just playing good music. That's another thing too. I love smoking and putting my like sound canceling headphones and just
Yeah, really good music. Yeah.
I
I like listening to hardstyle.
art style.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to add that to my repertoire.
I can send you my playlist. It's
Oh,
so what I love about hardstyle most is they talk a lot about freedom and anti-establishment and frequencies.
oh, cool.
Mm.
Yeah. So a lot of the hardstyle people that I listen to, they like incorporate frequencies into their music and also uplifting mantras, you could even say, talking a lot about love, light, and unity, oneness, source.
Beautiful. That's good that
Mm.
you're channeling that energy.
Yeah, I've been listening to hardstyle since I was like 14. I think that was like the first like EDM music I started listening to.
Mm.
Just like really hard bass, really fast.
That's uh that's my music. That's my jam. That's what I listen to. Deep house music or EDM is what I put in the headphones when I'm writing
Mhm.
or when I'm creating like graphics or anything like that. If I'm just in free flow of creating, I don't have any time for peaceful soft music. When I get up first thing in the morning, and maybe it's like peaceful piano or something when I'm getting into, but when I'm getting into work, I need that beat.
You need that boom boom. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that consistent beat. Yeah, that's what I never really thought much into that, but
Mm.
and trance.
Yeah,
I like
mm,
trance.
yeah, trance is really beautiful for that same reason, is like it
It
puts
makes
you in a trance.
it puts me in trance. Yeah.
Drum and bass and psytrance are really good because they're very like uh ancient almost. It's very like tribal, you could
And there's
say.
healing frequencies in that,
Hmm.
healing codes. Yeah, very tribal, very primal, very, um, yeah.
I remember when I was in Australia, I went to something called a bush stuff, which is a pop-up festival that happens. You only get told like a half hour before it opens
Mm.
where it is in a location. So they're pretty like random. Oh, there's a blue jay outside my window.
Mm.
um, and it was psytrance. So all the DJs were playing psytrance. It was Mario themed. So whoever put it
Oh,
on had made like all of these like cardboard cutouts and like full size like things and like lanterns that were like mushrooms and clouds, and it was
oh,
a
cool.
full entire experience. But I remember at one point we were all on the dance floor, just like everybody who was there was on the dance floor and everybody was moving the exact same way at the exact same time. And I remember just like coming out of the trance that I was in and
Mm.
seeing just like everybody around me just like move exactly the same in the same direction at the same time. Like
Oh, cool.
it was wild. It was so cool because like you could feel the like the energy of everybody was just like combined. Like everybody was just like a piece of the other person, like a
That
big
is
fractal.
some of the best moments are at concerts when you all are vibing on that same frequency. Oh, dude, I miss that world so much. I know. We're almost there. I see the finish line, guys.
Yes.
I'm actually really excited because this Saturday, the band, so my husband and I met, well, essentially started dating because we would go to reggae night on Thursday nights. And the band that usually played every time we would go, we ended up building like a nice relationship with them, and they played at our anniversary party. We didn't have like a wedding. We kind of eloped, but we did this kind of party a year later, and they performed at it. So, but then it was really sad because of the situation at hand. They had to, stop performing, and we just found out they're doing their performance this Saturday, and it'll be like the first time in 2 years we've seen them.
So you're gonna go?
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
Yeah, it'll be nice to kind of be vibing with, a crowd again and yeah, listening to some good reggae music.
Yeah. With somebody who you built a big connection from going to these all the time, like that's really special.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Now that I think of it, weed and music is what brought me to my husband.
How beautiful.
Couples who smoke together stay together. Yeah. It's nice to have a power partner like that, you know.
Yeah,
So, but
that's
yeah,
beautiful and exciting.
me some reggae music puts me in a good mood.
Jeez. Yeah, especially with everything that's been going on, just to be out with people. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky the last 2 years. Like, I have been able to travel around and was able to kind of be part of some cool smaller experiences, but I don't know, there's nothing like being in like a huge crowd.
Totally, especially live music
Yeah.
where the frequency isn't being disrupted or disturbed or it's just natural. Oh,
Yep. Ah,
Hmm.
we're so close. I can feel it. It'll be
I
just
mean, in Canada, I think we're starting to feel it thanks to the truckers.
yeah.
There's a lot going on. I just,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'll be it'll be cool to see how this turns out. I did see there was a press conference with the organizers of
Mhm.
Convoy, and they're trying to have a meeting with your PM.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
there's debates going on right now in the House of Parliament, and our MPs and stuff are giving their opinion on what's going on. Some of them are very on point and they know exactly what they're talking about.
Mhm.
Others are make me want to throw something at my TV.
Mhm.
Oh, some of the things they say, but it's fine. Everything's gonna be okay.
yeah, and if it was, I feel like if any country had to do this, it had to be Canada. Like you guys
So
Who would have
cold.
thunk?
for the rest of
Mm.
the world, it's beautiful. I was crying watching one of the
It's emotional. There's a lot of heart and soul being shown.
Yeah, you really feel it. We experienced it ourselves, and then to hear, that so many people have been experiencing it the same way is like, it's almost like confirmation that we haven't been crazy this whole time and that
Mm.
this is something that we're really fighting for.
yeah. I was honestly having a moment where I did feel a little depleted, and then when I heard this was happening, I was like,
Oh, and
oh,
then you see it.
little spark
Oh,
of hope that we needed in this movement. So thank you guys,
this time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Canadians, for being so awesome.
and peaceful and just partiers. Like they had bouncy house castles. They had
Saunas.
mm-hmm,
They've got saunas there for people,
saunas.
and yeah, it's just
Oh, and that was what
mm.
that one was saying. She was like, it's so beautiful. Like, she's like, you don't see it, like the homelessness, you can't even tell is there because everyone's just helping each other out. And it's just like this one giant, like, helping party. I'm like, I want to be part of this.
Right? I want to help. I want to give people the things that they need and help, support them through this. This is what we're here for. And it makes me think like what are we even relying on the government for? They don't do anything. But us, we do something.
Yeah. And there's a lot of us.
There's so many of us. There's so many of us that some of us might not even have jobs. Some of us might still have to be kicking back while the others are, healing everything. This is like everybody's just going to want a piece of helping. Somebody's going to want to bake something. Somebody's going to want to make something. Somebody's going to want to throw a party. Somebody's going to want to throw a dinner party. Somebody's going to want to do everything. When I think about how I would react in that situation, like if we had to rebuild everything from the ground up, like I think people would be so pumped for that. And I
Yeah.
think we forget just like how like uh incredibly helpful people are and we ourselves can be and the kind
How
of joy that it
resourceful we
brings
can
us.
be and how we can
Yeah.
figure things out, and especially when you combine talents and resources, and being able to look out for you know the collective, the groups and things. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, there's so much of the simpler ways of doing things and getting. I'm always just, hoping too that we get a lot of changes in our food supply, because what's out there that they're calling food in the most cases is, it's just not. It's no wonder we're having challenges, right? So yeah.
It's interesting that you just said that. I'm like thinking like what would happen if that chain is broken.
Oh, so many good
That
things would happen.
these companies can't produce as much because they can't move their product.
They can't move it because people aren't working for them anymore.
What happens with these companies?
Gone.
They just,
Without us, they are nothing.
It's
yeah,
always been that way. It's always been encouraged to um, show your show your preference with what you buy. Don't
Mhm.
buy the garbage in the grocery stores. Look at how things have changed, how there's more now. The natural and
That's
organic isn't the one shelf. It's, the
an
entire
aisle.
aisles, or it's not even. I love when it's mixed in with the regular stuff. I don't want to have to go to a special aisle. I want to be able to make my choice of nut butters in the same aisle that
Mhm.
craft is in. I want to be able to buy, I mean,
Yes.
yeah. I'm
we
so glad you just brought that up because when I was just running my errands just now, I went to our local Stop and Shop, and I looked up when I was at the fruit section, and there's this little section, and it says natural foods, and it
mm,
was the tiniest portion of this huge store, and I'm thinking, so none of that's natural.
unnatural foods.
So, like, you got this tiny little section that's like, and they don't even make it like appealing too. The way they have it set up, it's just kind of like, oh, here's our sad little cousin
Mm.
natural foods over here looking glim, but we're
We
gonna
gotta
put
go
LED lights on everything. Like, it's weird. I don't know.
Mm.
And just made me realize I was like, people are gonna have to start getting used to like, you know, not seeing these big brands anymore. I feel like
exactly.
continues like this.
Yeah. Start relying on your farmers. Start relying on your farmers markets. Start relying on, any places that support local farmers and local businesses. Like those are the first steps. And maybe sounds like it's, not a big step, but I think it's all incorporated in it and could make big movements if we all did it.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this pans out because you guys would be the first to feel it because you're already
Yes.
dealing
We're
with,
already feeling it.
Mm.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Bananas are like gold right now.
Do you have plans?
You're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for more people to start growing their own food and then, doing trades with other people who grow food. And think of all the green thumbs out there who would kill to have acres just to plant whatever they want. Like,
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Bit by bit.
exactly.
And maybe that's like when everyone keeps saying this big event, this ascension event, like maybe we're not going to see it be like this massive one-time thing. Like it's gonna, I think the world's just gonna look different because we're all changing our habits and things are like it's gonna look weird.
Hmm.
You know, businesses that we were used to won't exist. So that's gonna like I'm already seeing it in my local little square that we have a lot of our businesses, but there's like parts of strip malls that are completely
Vacant.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it is starting to look weird. But maybe this is a good thing.
I think something has to happen. And if this is the start of it,
Well, I want this to be the start of going back to a more natural and holistic way of being. What I don't want it to be is I don't want to go more towards a digital society. I have no interest in having an avatar life where I can have
chip in my
experiences. I
brain.
want to have real experiences. I don't want to have a pretend world. I don't want to have a digital this and that. I want to be able to put my hands in the earth. I want to be able to meet with you physically and give you an actual hug and give you a plate of food that I've lovingly prepared. I mean, it's that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. It's just a way of balancing it out. Just having this conversation with Alexis this morning is like, how do we have technology work for us? Like, we
Mm-hmm.
own the machines, like, they
Yeah.
don't have any power over us. And how do we make sure that that's that's like a law that's put into place? Like, the
Yeah.
technology will never get to be more powerful than the human consciousness because I'm definitely sure that I was like living in Atlantis when everything fell apart because I feel very connected when I hear these stories. It's like I know what it's like to see a society combust on itself.
Humble.
Technology
Mm.
Yep.
getting too powerful. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like we're seeing this cycle again. It's like all the science, it's happening again. Okay, how do we get off this karmic wheel?
By standing up and saying, we're not going for that. We don't participate. We're not participating in that. No, thank you. We don't want it. Won't do it.
Come on. I'll do it.
I want a barcode in me. No.
Mm.
Like I feel even hypocritical doing it to my dog. Like,
Totally.
or actually, now that I think of it, she came like that. But still, like I'm still, I don't know. I feel like there are better ways, but how do we? I don't know. It's tough.
It's tough.
A lot of it's like a double-edged sword most of the time.
Yeah. We rely on it also for a lot of our essential needs, unfortunately. Like, yeah, communication.
Like if I could throw this into a river,
Mm.
Oh,
like one of those like whitewater rafting rivers, I want to see it get pummeled. Done. I'm done with it. I want it out of my life. But at the same time, I'm like, it does make my life easier.
so much easier.
I have to just deal with it. I don't know.
That's the deal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it all comes into. And that's, yeah, knowing our values and setting our boundaries to help support that. And being in control of our lives. Not, it's so easy to just go down that, like we have to, sometimes we have to parent ourselves, right? Sometimes we have to put those
Yeah.
directions, those paths, make it easier for us to choose the path that is actually in alignment of who we are and how we want to be, because society is going to not want us to go down that path. They want us to go to every other path. So we need to remember and remind ourselves who we are, what are our values, and how do we want to then what does that look like? And that helps to make those choices, because it's not we're not we're constantly being marketed to.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yep. Watch The Social Dilemma if you have not watched it. It's just when you start seeing people who invented these products
Mm.
and companies and they won't even let their children use it. That's when you know you're like, "Oh,
Ooh.
why
Wonder why.
why would you not implement this in your own life, huh?" Yeah. Makes you wonder, but
I mean, it should at least.
I know nothing, right?
Well, you do know something, and that is that you know nothing.
Yeah.
Technically, you know one thing.
I know that I have enjoyed this conversation very much today. This has been lovely. And
Mm.
I love you all.
Ah, this has been really nice. Thank you for having us again.
Mm.
Of course. I'm, I really like doing this because I am, let's just say, not the best at routine, but it's nice to commit to something every Tuesday that I know I will enjoy. This is not work for me. So I am so grateful for,
I'm so grateful. I so look forward to this chat.
yay.
Truly.
And yeah, I hope whoever is watching, maybe you got some new tips for your tool belt. And yeah, we hopefully inspire you. This is just a fun little thing that I didn't really want to put too much stress into, and I feel like that's the best way to do it. So
Mhm.
yeah, glad to have you.
Just a little bit of organic in the non-organic, just adding a touch.
Exactly. Yeah. I feel like yeah, organic authenticity, the real shit. Like
A
this
little
is,
bit of light.
and that's why I'm here and
Mm.
wanting to have you be part of this. So you're awesome.
Where?
Thoughts? Well, I guess I will conclude this week's episode of Tea Toke and Tarot Tuesday. Thanks for having us. Go check out their channels. Much appreciated. And have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.